of the debate and pledged to work together to shape a compromise.
The civil rights bill now goes to the Senate, where a group of moderate Republicans is trying to fashion a new version that would satisfy both Congress and the president. No small task.
If that effort fails, we'll have a replay of last year, another stalemate, and no civil rights legislation. In Washington, Tina Galan, Channel 4, Eyewitness News.
Well, joining us now from his Jacksonville office is the president of the city's Urban League, Ronnie Ferguson. Ronnie, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. As you know, the president is calling this a quota bill. Do you see this as a quota bill?
I think we've got to be careful about calling it anything like quota or anything, because that raises the ire of the American public. The issue is, how do we bring about a condition in America where all people are treated equally and where people have a fair shot at being all that they can be. We've had a quota system in America for as long as our system has been the way it is. That quota system was one way. It opened the door one way, and minorities of many types and colors have not been admitted. We've got to do something to promote a situation where people have access to become the Americans that we want them to be.
Now, the president has said on more than one occasion that the only people who are really going to benefit by this bill are the lawyers. Do you agree with that?
Well, we've become a litigious society, and we've got to move away from that too. But let's face one truth. We've not made much progress in this country without having laws on the books. Take Jacksonville. Once we took away the disparity, the set-aside program in order to do a disparity study, we went right back down to zero in terms of minority contracts and minority jobs. You know, it's unfortunate, but it seems like we have to have laws on the books in order to make progress in this country. I don't see people stepping forward doing it willingly. In Jacksonville, we've got better leadership than in most places, but even here we lag behind. So on a national level, I certainly feel that we can't make any steps forward without having something on the books, and we need something badly.
All right, thank you very much. That's Ronnie Ferguson. He's the president of the Jacksonville Urban League. Well, a Russian education exchange turned into a beauty exchange today.
It was a day of makeovers for 3 visitors from Jacksonville's sister city of Murmansk, Russia. And the day of beauty was a welcome relief.
It's a little break from the work day, but considering that they have been going from 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning until midnight, I think they deserve it.
The 3 Soviet teachers from Jacksonville's sister city of Murmansk have been on a whirlwind tour of our area. They have visited local schools, they've watched American TV, and of course, they've been to Disney World. But most of it has been hard work. So getting complete makeovers, including hair, nails, and makeup, was a treat. But it is not an American original.
This is not a big luxury to them to have their hair done. They get their hair done once a week, just like the women over here in America do. Their hair, their styles are just as current as the women that we do. And basically, women are women everywhere.
After their hit of glamour glasnost, the women talked about their visits to local schools and what they, as teachers, learned.
I think I will take a lot of ideas, of new ideas from your schools.
Yermolenko says there was another plus to her visit.
I love your people here in Jacksonville. I met some of them in Murmansk, and here I met already so many kind and really good people.
And the Soviet teachers may have one more opportunity for an American do. They'll be in our city until June 15th. The Soviet president and a possible invitation to a Western Economic Summit tops our first look at the world today.
The White House says it will be up to the Prime Minister of Britain to decide whether Mikhail Gorbachev will be invited to the summit. Mr. Gorbachev is trying to get some economic aid from the Western countries for the Soviet Union. He made his pitch today during a Nobel Peace Lecture in Oslo, Norway. Mr. Gorbachev says the time is near for Western countries to decide whether they are willing to help the Soviet Union move away from communism. Hundreds of searchers sifted through ash on the eastern face of Mount Unzen today to retrieve the last victims of a volcanic eruption that killed 37 people. Soldiers in flame-retardant gear recovered 22 more charred bodies, including those of a policeman and a freelance cameraman. Authorities said the 6 remaining bodies they sought were too high on the mountain to retrieve by foot. Search crews will try to recover them by helicopter tomorrow.
Sporadic gunfire rang through the streets of the Algerian capital today as troops backed by tanks moved in to take control of the city. The Algerian president declared a state of siege overnight, accepted the government's resignation, and postponed general elections. This all comes after 3 days of violent protests by Muslim fundamentalists demanding an Islamic state. A national monument was the site of a grisly act Tuesday. A man poured gasoline on himself, then set himself on fire. And although badly burned, he survived. A fire official said the unidentified man may have been carrying out some type of religious act. Authorities say the man was taken to the Brooke Army Medical Center with second and third degree burns over 80% of his body. A witness who videotaped the incident says the man parked his truck across the street from the Alamo, set himself on fire, then ran over to the historic building. Also on Tuesday, a man armed with a shotgun and carrying ammunition opened fire at the electronics company where he used to work, killing 2 and injuring at least 2 others. 41-year-old Larry Hansel turned himself into authorities about 3 hours after the shooting. Witnesses said Hansel acted totally out of control.
And there was gunshots from downstairs, just repeated gunshots. We were trying to get everybody out as fast as we could. The gunman ended up upstairs, believed to be an ex-employee.
An ex-employee?
Yeah, and had been letting people go, was looking for certain people.
He had been kind of a survivalist type of guy, religious and survivalist combination, where he was always talking about guns and surviving and getting them before they got him.
Authorities say Hansel had been laid off recently after about 5 years with his company. Rob?
Well, it's not the kind of thing they do often, but San Francisco police today are helping an 82-year-old man find a bank he can trust. The man has a big deposit to make, more than $277,000. He's been carrying the money around with him in a small bag and nearly lost it yesterday when he left it at a restaurant. He recently arrived in San Francisco from Nevada and said he didn't trust banks.
I wouldn't trust myself with I barely trust myself with my purse, let alone that kind of money. It's a good thing to see George inside today, don't you think?
Yeah, it was just as wet yesterday about this time, but minus the thunder and lightning.
Yeah, boy, we don't have the air show, so to speak.
It was really spectacular last night and kind of reminded me of the mother of all lightning storms.
Popular phrase these days,
I can
George.
count on just one hand the times I've seen electrical displays like that in my entire life. And of course, we don't have that quite today, even though we do hear the thunder and have the lightning out there. It's not as severe because we didn't get that 96-degree heat today. We had a lot of steamy atmosphere over our city. But last night, we were still counting all the rainfall amounts that had come in from that electrical display that just dazzled our skies over northeast Florida. In fact, as we looked at the rainfall totals, we see, well, one late report, 3 inches over in Marietta, and there was 2.5 inches up in many parts of Nassau County. Some spots only a ½ an inch downtown and over around parts of Sandalwood and Arlington. So variable rainfall again, but very heavy in many places. Now, as far as Scan 4 radar is concerned today, these thunderstorms are coming out of the northwest, so we see them pushing down toward Gainesville at this time and across northeast Florida. It looks like we're in for a rainy evening. The satellite picture saw a lot of sunshine in the Panhandle, central Florida, and downstate, but cool air is pressing down against this hot air along a band. And if we look at the current temperatures, we see how it's still 90 degrees in Tallahassee. Compare that with 70 degrees up in Asheville, North Carolina. As we put the national clouds into motion, we see how there's hot air pushing up the plain states and cool air coming down the Atlantic seaboard. And between the two is where the air is clashing over mostly northeast Florida. Now, there is a lot of sunshine, but cool temperatures in the east, only 68 degrees now in Norfolk, Virginia, as the mild air is sweeping up into the northern plains, hot in the desert southwest, and another morning of record lows out in the Pacific Northwest. Here are the current temperatures around the country, and we see how it's in the 70s up in the Great Lakes, but 60s all the way down to the Virginia coast, 55 in Bangor, Maine, and out west, hot weather, 92 degrees down in Corpus Christi in South Texas. Our forecast looks like we'll be seeing a rainy evening, but tomorrow a brighter note, drier, breezy, and mild. High of only 78 degrees. Goodness. Winds blowing off the ocean. Low temperature tonight, though, because of the rain and the high humidity, probably just into the upper 60s. We'll say about 69 degrees. It's been rough in the garden. We've had to do a lot of spraying this year, but we got another picking of squash today and no worms. So a concentrated program of tending the garden does pay off.
And it helps when the weather cooperates, huh?
Yes.
Get a little wet.
Well, see, the rain keeps washing things off, so it means a lot of work. So the rain's a lot of
so
work.
You have to keep going. Yeah.
So the rain's a lot of work for a lot of people.
You know, it's one of those you can't live with it, and you can't live without
How
it.
about the car wash people?
Thanks, George.
Thank you, George. Well, we have the best seats, that's for sure, because you don't want to be out on the roads driving.
No, let's check in with Spencer Martin and see what our rush hour traffic looks like this Wednesday. Spencer?
Robin, Deb, it is absolutely horrendous right now. There's a 5-vehicle accident on northbound 295 just before the Buckman Bridge. It's just about cleared, but there's still a lot of congestion there. There's a stalled vehicle on the southbound Buckman Bridge, slowdowns on southbound 295 approaching that span. There's also apparently a wreck on the southbound Buckman, too. All the approaches to the Hart Bridge are backed up right now. Same situation for the approaches to the Matthews Bridge. Main Street Bridge also seeing some problems. An accident on eastbound Atlantic near Anniston. Eastbound 10 slows from Roosevelt merger to the 95 merger. Westbound 10 is seeing some problems, and there are 6 vehicles on the side of the road near Ellis Overpass, and there's also an accident near Edgewood. More accidents, one at Gulffair and Stewart, an accident with injuries at Kings and Edison. Another on Atlantic near San Pablo, and the Fuller Warren Bridge is heavy and below the speed limit in both directions. Northbound 95 approaching that span is bumper to bumper from the Channel 4 tower. Southbound 95 is backed up to the Myrtle Overpass and is stop and go at the 10 merger. There really are a lot more problems on the roadway, too many to mention. Drive carefully this afternoon and evening and watch out for some flooding on the streets. I'm Spencer Martin from the WQIK Traffic Center for Eyewitness News. First at 5. Back to you.
I guess I got to thank Spencer, even though it's bad news. Thank you, Spencer, but it looks like a long trip home tonight.
Well, a tiny girl may be giving her big sister the gift of life.
We'll hear more on the results of a controversial bone marrow transplant.
And a little later, up close with nature and walking and talking along the trail with today's Wednesday's Child.
Deserve the clear, crisp quality of photo processing from the Publix Photo Center.
We bake pearls made of denture material in this blueberry pie to prove how powerfully Efferdent, America's leading denture cleanser, removes this tough stain, even in between. Efferdent, stronger than stains.
For the itch and pain of bug bites and allergic rashes, even the strongest hydrocortisone can't give you the same kind of relief you get from Benadryl cream, because it stops the pain and blocks itch right where it starts. Benadryl cream and spray.
Here are your winning WQIK Hit Kicker free lottery numbers. If they match the numbers on your red lottery ticket, call WQIK immediately to win $1,000.
Who's going to give you a light-hearted chicken sandwich that weighs in at around 300 calories? Dairy Queen. Give you chicken the right way. Chicken the light way. Now just $1.99. A perfectly grilled, skinless, boneless filet of chicken. Highlighted with delightful reduced-calorie mayonnaise, tomato, and lettuce. Chicken the light way. Get it now for just $1.99. We treat you right. Dairy Queen.
We surprised women
How about that?
Well, what do you know?
with the news that Hot Shot is a water-based roach and ant killer. But what really surprised them was the news that other leading brands are petroleum-based.
Yuck. You mean I've been spraying that on my walls and carpets? You mean I've been spraying that in my kitchen?
Wait a minute. Hot Shot is water-based, but does it kill bugs?
It does, and just as dead. Hot Shot, tough on bugs, easier on you.
Well, Health Beat reporter Nancy Rubin is a little under the weather today, but we'll have some health news
We have
anyway.
the stories for you anyway. Doctors say early signs look very good after a controversial bone marrow transplant. We told you about the sister-to-sister transplant in yesterday's Health Beat. 19-year-old Anissa Ayala is struggling for her life. She has leukemia, but now she may live because of a transplant from her 13-month-old sister, Marissa. Her parents became the center of a national debate when Mary Ayala became pregnant in hopes of finding a compatible bone donor for her older daughter.
When you have children and they grow up with you and you love them so much that, you know, I can't imagine anybody not doing what we did.
Today, doctors say little Marissa is home and doing well following the transplant. It will take another month to see whether the transplant defeats the leukemia in Anissa's body, but the chances right now look good.
Well, every year people spend millions of dollars on uncomfortable procedures to brighten their smiles or on cheap, quick fix methods that don't last. Now a simple home-based treatment is available through dentists, and it's giving people plenty to smile about. Health Beat reporter Nancy Rubin tells us so far patients and researchers like what they see.
Every 9 weeks, Teresa Mitchell has the tea and coffee stains cleaned off her teeth. But because her teeth are also stained from tetracycline she took as a child, her dentist recommended another treatment.
Bleaching can lend itself really well to eliminating those types of stains.
Dr. Van Haywood probably has studied various bleaching methods more than anyone else. His studies found the most dramatic results occur in teeth stained from cigarettes or coffee, spotted from fluoride in the water, or yellowed with aging.
Probably 98% of the people that we've done this treatment on had a lightening.
Tetracycline stains are more stubborn.
I usually tell tetracycline patients that you'll never get the teeth white, because they'll definitely get lighter.
For 8 weeks, Teresa has been wearing a thin football-styled mouth guard filled with a 10% peroxide gel for 2 hours every night.
I didn't have any side effects. They suggested that there might be a burning or a tingling, and I didn't have any of that.
Even though the peroxide gel has not been formally approved by the American Dental Association, every study shows it's safe. It's been used for years for other purposes.
It's actually been used for a good number of times in hospitals and newborn infants as well as geriatric homes for gum sores, which is what it was designed for.
The entire treatment for both arches cost Teresa $400.
I like the difference I see and the fact that people notice. You know, that makes me feel good.
Nancy Rubin, Channel 4 Eyewitness News.
There's lots more news to come on Eyewitness News First at 5.
But first, let's check it with Tom back in the newsroom to find out what's coming up at 5:30. Hello, Tom.
Hi, Rob and Deb. Coming up on Eyewitness News live at 5:30, AIDS patients get help in Jacksonville. There are some sad and frightening statistics to report on the 10th anniversary of AIDS in America. Also, call it a car of the future. How would you like to make your daily commute in a sort of hovercraft? And we'll go to Bel Air, California, where a really big star is putting her really expensive house up for sale. All that, plus bonsais and violets. Rob, Deb?
Bonsais
What's
and
that?
violets. We're going to find out.
Oh, okay.
Coming up next, matrimonial harmony on the green.
Sam will show us a husband and wife golf team that's burning up the links. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
It's so hard to see my child like this. He's so sad. I mean, he just pulls away from us and from his teachers, his friends. Oh, and his moods. 1 minute he's just fine, but the next, he's out of control. I don't even know him anymore.
Call us.
We are HCA Grant Center Hospital. We can help.
Not only does the Anderson French wood patio door add beauty to a room, no other French-style patio door is more weather-tight. In fact, there may be only one way air and moisture can get through it. Get the book that's filled with Anderson window and patio door ideas.
Holmes Lumber Company, Manning Building Supplies, Amelia Glass and Building Supplies, Choo Choo Supply Company.
You take so much care to eat foods that are natural. Consider that the next time you drink decaffeinated coffee. Sanka is decaffeinated by a remarkable natural process, using only pure water and nature's effervescence to wash away caffeine. With no artificial chemicals. That's why it's natural to drink Sanka. Sanka ground decaffeinated coffee.
Domino's Pizza now has one number that automatically connects you to the Domino's closest to you. Unfortunately, most of you have already forgotten it, so we suggest these memory tools. 950, 9 to 5, the average workday. 0, the time you want to spend cooking afterwards. 1 for 30, the 1 for 30-minute delivery of delicious Domino's Pizza.
Call 950-1430 and get a medium bacon cheeseburger pizza feast for only $8.99 and get another one for just $4 more. Call now.
Well, it's not enough for sports. Can you imagine bringing your husband to work every day and have him, like, write out your stories and
No,
stuff
I
like
adore
that?
my husband, but we don't work together on purpose.
Would you like
That would
to,
be tough.
How would you like to bring your wife to work every day and she tells you what to do?
Ooh.
All the time.
Ooh.
Right?
That would be tough.
That is the case with Cindy Rarick and her husband. Cindy is an LPGA Tour player, in fact, a rather successful one. Her husband is her caddy. And yes, there is occasional matrimonial dispute. Matt Cooney has the story.
Success on the LPGA Tour has come rather quickly for Cindy Rarick, who has won 4 tournaments and earned nearly $1 million since joining the ladies circuit 7 years ago. Rarick credits caddy husband Rick for her steady play.
It's worked out great. We've done it now. This is our 7th year, and we've been very productive as a team. You know, I've played very well over the last 7 years, won some tournaments, and I think that I'm improving a lot, and a lot of it's because of him. He's my coach and my caddy.
Rick plays both roles as coach and caddy well, but wishes his star pupil would work a little harder.
She's not really big on practicing. She doesn't really enjoy that, so it's like pulling teeth to get her to go out to stop on the practice field, but she's getting better and better.
Mr. and Mrs. Rarick both agree that Cindy's occasional poor play affects their off-the-course relationship.
Unfortunately, it does, just for like an hour or so, and then we usually talk about it, get it out of the way, and then go on from there and just enjoy the rest of the evening.
That gets a little bit tough, but when we're on the golf course, I'm a caddy, period, especially in the tournament rounds, and so all I try to do is be supportive and try to help her as much as I can, try to keep her in a positive state of mind.
Rick thoroughly enjoys caddying for his wife, but admits his status as a bag toter for one of the most glamorous golfers on the LPGA Tour earns him lots of teasing.
All my friends tease me. In fact, when we got married, a couple of my friends said, "Gee, Rick, that's great." After they saw Cindy, they said, "Do you know what kind of wine to order with peanut butter and jelly sandwiches?"
Matt Cooney, Channel 4 Eyewitness News.
Of course, Cindy Rarick and her husband were a part of the skins game that was going on at the Ravines on Memorial Day, and that's when Matt was there. Rick Rarick, by the way, is a scratch player in his own right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sam.
All right.
Thank you, Sam. Well, still to come, combing the nature trails in search of a big brother.
Grant Ewing will introduce us to this week's Wednesday's Child next.
KFC introduces a new kind of fried chicken.
No skin, give me all taste.
It's called Light and Crispy.
Give me no skin, give me all taste.
New Light and Crispy. No skin, so it's light. All taste because it's marinated with 11 herbs and spices.
Give me no skin, give me all taste. Nobody's cooking like today's KFC. I can't wait forever. Time won't let me. Time won't let me.
If you don't have the time to spend waiting, spend a little time at Eckerd.
Wait that long.
Our Father's Day card selection can beat their Father's Day card selection, and it's more convenient, too. So there. American greetings at Eckerd, because America can't wait.
Here's some news that'll brighten your day. When you buy Edge Gel or Agree Shampoo and Agree Conditioner at Walmart and use the coupons found right on the packages, the Walmart price for Edge is just $1.37. And Agree Shampoo and Agree Conditioner are just $1.82 each. So manage your mornings with Edge and Agree and manage your budget with the Walmart price. Always the low price. Walmart. Always.
How did we discover the secret taste of Kellogg's Mueslix? We searched Europe, but no one would tell us everything. But to make Kellogg's Mueslix cereal, we had to discover why this mysterious combination of sweet fruit, hearty grains, and nuts was so jealously guarded. It's a wonder we found this uncommonly delicious taste. Oh, but aren't you glad we did? Kellogg's Mueslix, the European secret for great taste.
What do gators, birds, spiders, and turtles have in common? Well, they can all be seen along some of the nature trails at the University of North Florida.
Well, tonight in our Wednesday's Child, Grant Ewing introduces us to a freckled-faced third grader. How old are you when you're in the third grade?
8, 9, something like that.
Okay. Well, 8 or 9-year-old who's in search of a big brother. I guess he can use a big brother.
And a bit of nature. What a fun thing for a child to want to do instead of have to go to some of those places where you feed money into machines all the time. Here's tonight's Wednesday's Child. No, we don't have tonight's Wednesday's Child. See, all of these stories...
Yeah, well, if you'd like to be a big brother or a big sister, you can call this number that you see on the screen, 398-9797. Or, if you have a child who needs a big brother or a big sister, call 398-9797, and we are going to work on that and bring it up because I'm sure this kid wants his story told.
The little boy with the nature trail will be here eventually, you see, but all of these stories are on videotape, and we think there's a machine back there that ate this particular videotape. Has that ever happened to you at home? I'm Deborah Gianolis, and I'll be back at 6, where I hope we have better luck with our machines and our tapes.
And I'm Rob Sweeting. Stay tuned for Eyewitness News Live at 5:30 with Tom Wills. And
Linnea Carlson is here for Nancy Rubin.
Here's a look at what's coming up.
I'm Linnea Carlson. On the 10th anniversary of the AIDS epidemic in the U.S., Duval County health officials are concerned residents aren't doing enough to protect themselves. I'll have that story.
I'm Mike Maychak. The hunt is on, the job hunt. I'll tell you why local high school students are being warned to shop smart for their summer employment.
I'm Arthur Crofton. Tonight on Consumer Jury, we clean up with paper towels.
First in news, round the clock. WJXT Channel 4. Now, Tom Wills, Nancy Rubin, Phil Henley with neighborhood weather. Sam Kavaris and troubleshooter Mike Maychek. This is Eyewitness News, live at 5:30.
Good afternoon, everyone. Nancy Rubin is off tonight. I'm Linnea Carlson.
Today marks a solemn milestone in America. It is the 10th anniversary of the AIDS epidemic. Here in Duval County, the number of AIDS cases continues to rise. Currently, there are almost 800 diagnosed cases of the disease.
And local health officials aren't optimistic about future statistics. In fact, they say the number of AIDS cases will increase dramatically in 2 years.
You hear about it, but you think, well, it's never going to happen to you. Well, people need to wake up. You know, it's out there and it can happen.
Ed got AIDS through a blood transfusion nearly 7 years ago. He has been diagnosed with the disease for 4 years. Ed is one of 781 people diagnosed with AIDS in Duval County since 1982. More than half the cases here are gay men. More than 20% are IV drug users. 15% are women. Despite a nationwide effort by numerous groups to educate people about how the disease is spread, 10 years after the AIDS epidemic began in this country, the numbers don't look promising. Locally, AIDS cases are expected to nearly double by 1993 to 1,440.
People who are having sex in non-monogamous relationships in unprotected fashion, people who are needle sharers, whether they're drug users or people at the gym shooting steroids or diabetics on fixed income who have to share needles, then they're at greater risk.
What's surprising and worrisome to Duval County health officials is that 8% of the people who have AIDS here got the disease through heterosexual transmission, and that percentage is higher than the national average.
When I first started this job 4 years ago, we had no one classified as heterosexual transmission, and now 8% of our caseload, where the national average for heterosexual transmission is 5%.
One place AIDS or HIV-positive patients can go to get help or counseling in the region is Duval AIDS Care and Education at Snyder United Methodist Church downtown. Ed counsels at the center. He says he's concerned about AIDS education in Duval County. He has a teenage son, and he says what his son brings home from school in the way of hearsay is disheartening. What Ed sees at Duval AIDS Care and Education makes him adamant that youngsters be taught about AIDS.
We just lost one of our clients that was 22, and it was a rough go for him. And that hurts because, you know, these are kids. These are kids that got infected real early, and we're talking high school time.
Now, if you or someone you know needs help in coping with AIDS, here's the address and number for Duval AIDS Care and Education. It's the second floor of the Snyder United Methodist Church, 226 Laura Street at the corner of Monroe, Jacksonville, Florida, 32202, and that number is 904-355-1123.
With each year that passes, the AIDS epidemic raises more and more ethical questions. Right now, authorities in Broward County are searching for patients of a doctor infected with AIDS. Florida News Network reporter Cindy Pena tells us it's the first time a doctor employed by the Veterans Administration has tested positive for HIV.
The VA is working frantically to gather the names and addresses of all the patients of a dentist who for the last 5.5 years worked out of this VA clinic in Oakland Park. The reason he tested positive for the HIV virus.
The likelihood of a dentist giving a patient any infection, whether it's hepatitis or tuberculosis or whatever, is very small.
Despite that, the VA will be writing letters to all the dentist's patients, offering free blood testing and counseling, hoping to end the mounting fears.
And I think the best way to do that is to expedite everything in the plan. Get the letters out, get the people in if they want to be tested, get that done, get the results back as soon as possible, and so that they can be put to peace.
I feel sorry for him, and yeah, I have reason to be concerned because I have used the dental facility here.
The Privacy Act prevents the VA from releasing the name of the dentist. Even the patient won't be told. The dentist is still employed by the VA, although he is not working on patients. From now on, he'll be doing research and quality control.
My understanding is the Veterans Administration is a pretty good outfit, and I'm sure that they're doing their best to make sure everybody involved is safe.
According to administrators, this is the first time a practitioner within the nationwide VA system has tested positive for HIV, and they add this case could change the way the VA operates.
I'm sure they're thinking about it. Everybody in the system, I'm sure, is concerned about it. But I think anything that's initiated would start in Washington.
Democrats in the Senate today unveiled a public health insurance program that is meant to assure that all Americans get the health care that they need. The package would require employers who don't offer health insurance to take part in a public program funded by a new payroll tax. The plan, called AmeriCare, also would allow the unemployed to have access to health insurance at affordable rates. Some senators strongly support the proposal, stressing the fact that as many as 34 million Americans have no insurance.
But they need help. They are part of our country. We find help for every other country in the world. We're helping the Russians, the Chinese, the Mexicans, everybody under the sun. It's time we help our own people with health care, and that's what this program will do.
If approved by Congress, AmeriCare would cost an estimated $6 billion the first year. Currently, the United States spends more per person on health care than any other country in the world. Linnea?
Well, graduation day was a milestone this morning at Corrine Scott Elementary School. The last fifth grade class to graduate from the elementary school marched down the aisles today. Eyewitness News anchor Tony Yates was the guest speaker at the graduation. It was a bittersweet moment for faculty members. They're both sad and excited to see the school doors close. They believe the children will have more opportunities as they move on to other schools. Officials say the grade school is closing because it's run down. Corrine Scott opened in 1926 and will officially close its doors at the end of the school year.
It's time now to take a look at some of the stories making headlines in newspapers around our region. The Gainesville Sun reports city commissioners are considering a law to allow police the power to stop and search suspicious-looking loiterers. Under the proposed ordinance, known drug dealers or anyone in parts of the city known for drug activity could be targeted. To make an arrest, police would have to observe a suspect acting in a manner that suggests he might be selling drugs.
The Palatka Daily News reports last night's storm left many Putnam County residents without power. Authorities say power had been restored to all but a few homes by this morning.
And the Waycross Journal-Herald reports that last night's storms left a mess in South Georgia. Authorities blame the weather for uprooting trees and knocking down power lines in 6 counties. This evening's troubleshooter concerns the rigors of searching for a summer job.
And Mike Maychek is here, our troubleshooter, to give some advice to students who are trading in their schoolwork for summer work.
School's out this week. Tom, I guess you know all about that.
I do, yes. We've noticed that in our house.
A lot of kids are out there getting into the workforce, looking for jobs, and the Consumer Affairs Division really wants kids to think about it, whether they're just in for it for a little extra cash or they're saving up for something big like a car or stereo. The city's Consumer Affairs Division wants students to think first before jumping into the job market, and they're warning this teenage workforce, don't be enticed to put up cash in advance for help in finding a job. On high school campuses across the city, it's a countdown. School's out soon.
For many, it'll be a summer of all fun and no work.
Go to the pool, go to the beach, spend time with my boyfriend, stuff like that.
First, I'm going to Disney World.
For the rest, it's strictly down to business.
Go to summer school and work.
Working? I'll be working.
This flood of students in the workforce has prospective employers scrambling with offers. A quick glance of the newspaper classifieds reveals many tempting wages and opportunities. But the city's consumer affairs chief says students beware, especially of employment agencies that want money up front to help you find a job.
Come summertime, spring and summer, we see that young people fall victim to these type agencies, and they don't always get jobs. In fact, more times than not, they do not get a job.
Newspaper classifieds have long been considered a good place to turn when job hunting. But keep your guard up here, too. Some of the ads you may run across are placed by the employment agencies themselves, but you won't know it. They'll look like all the other ads. In its defense, one of the city's leading employment agencies that charges a fee contends its service is fair and upfront. Cindy Price, with the Riverside J&H World Job Referral Service, says the agency is a leading placement firm, ranking in the city's top 10. She told me by telephone from Orlando, "I have had complaints. There's no hiding that. It's a complaint-oriented business when you're looking for a job." She added, "We crusade against high rates." And she says clients are offered a full research staff that takes job opportunities.
I think that if somebody's looking for a job, they're looking to make money. And if they're looking to make money, they don't need to take money out of their pocket first to then go find a job.
Price says J&H World charges $95 up front. For that, a client can call in daily for up to 3 months for job openings. She says clients can also opt to pay after they get a job, $350, about 2 weeks worth of pay. It's the client's responsibility to contact companies, submit resumes, and set up interviews. But the bottom line, Price says, she can't guarantee anyone a job. Now, on the other side of the coin, Rachel Marcus Hendry says that students would be much better served if they went with the classified ads, if they looked at college career offices. What's one of the other sources she mentioned? Personnel offices. Just about any company has one. Just check with them if you're interested in a specific company.
Signs in the windows of stores.
Signs, and we're seeing plenty of them.
How does the job market, what is it looking like this summer for students especially?
According to Manpower, the temporary service agency, which just issued a press release, of companies that they polled, 23% said that they would be hiring in the next several months. So the job market looks good. And from all the signs of the ads in the paper and the signs in the windows, students shouldn't have any problem finding work.
Thank you, Mike.
And good luck to them. Thanks. Well, a wet afternoon may be causing some problems on the roads for your home commute.
Well, let's check in with Spencer Martin for the latest information. Spencer?
Linnea and Tom, it's pretty treacherous on local roads this afternoon. An accident with people hurt at the intersection of Edgewood and Avenue B. Another accident, apparently a heart attack involved, at the intersection of Gulf Fair and Stewart. Another wreck in the 2000 block of Southside near Doolittle. Every bridge in town is stop and go at this hour, with the exception of the Dames Point span. Southbound 95 is now slow from Union to the Fuller Warren Bridge. Northbound 95 is under the speed limit from the Channel 4 Tower to the Fuller Warren. Southbound 295 is slow from Commonwealth to Normandy North. Normandy northbound, that is. 295 is backed up all the way from the Buckman Bridge to the 95 merger south of Mandarin, and that is on northbound 295. A lot of other areas affected, too many to mention. Some fog around town in addition to the rain. Watch for some flooding and drive very carefully. I'm Spencer Martin from the WQIK Traffic Center for Eyewitness News, live at 5:30. Back to you.
The thing that amazes me is how does Spencer sound that cheerful when he's reading off all that bad news, you know?
I don't know. He does a good job at it. Well, coming up, if you have $15 million to spare, we know a house where the price is right.
And also coming up, we'll meet the owner of that house. But first, Bill takes us to see some little trees and fabulous flowers. Stay with us.
Some people will do anything to get rid of their fire ants. But all you really need is Amdro Fire Ant Killer. Nothing is safer, easier to use, or more effective. Ants feed Amdro to others throughout the mound, killing all the ants, including the queen. Nothing works better than Amdro. The only thing that even comes close is maybe an anteater. Make it safe to go back into the yard again. Get Amdro.
It's a 24-hour world, and you need the around-the-clock news team to give you a head start on your day. To open your eyes to the latest developments, around the world, around the corner. Traffic reports and the day's weather to tell you what's happened and what's going to happen. Wake up to the fastest-growing morning news program in North Florida and South Georgia. Eyewitness News Daybreak with Linnea Carlson and meteorologist Glenn Wood from the team that's first in news. Channel 4's Eyewitness News.
What kind of buds bloom in the Olive Garden? Taste buds. And when you see our new summer menu of tender grilled dishes, light pastas, garden-fresh salads, and luscious desserts, you see why we say, now, all the best of summer is yours at the Olive Garden Italian restaurant.
$55 down and $55 a month. Only at Mike Davidson Ford can you get a brand new 91 Ranger or Escort for only $55 down and $55 a month. That's right, $55 down and $55 a month. Or how about a 91 Mustang or a hot new 91 Pro for only $77 down and $77 a month. Full-size F-150 pickups and Aerostars, an unbelievable $99 down and $99 a month. This sale won't last long, and it's only available at Mike Davidson Ford. That's Mike Davidson Ford, 9650 Atlantic Boulevard at Regency Square.
Well, in case you didn't know, it's National Garden Week, and with all this rain, it sure seems appropriate.
George would certainly know it was National Gardening Week, and evidently he's told Bill, because I understand you're joining us live from a Southside garden.
Actually, yeah, we're right near the Intracoastal, and we're getting a little rain right out here, so
we're getting a lot of rain in here.
In the studio?
Well, yeah, didn't you hear about the leaky roof?
No, I didn't. Is it over you, Tom?
No, Bill, of course not. It would never happen
Maybe we
that
can
way.
move your chair around maybe for the next show. You know, for weeks we've been watching George make new plants grow large, so today I thought we'd take the other side of the gardening end and visit some folks that make old plants grow small, and that's bonsai, the famous bonsai trees we've always heard. And this is Kathy Carter. Thanks for having us out to your house. You say you've only been into bonsais for just a few years, huh?
About 3 or 4 years.
And the key to them is, I don't know, how do you make them small? These are actual regular plants, right?
They're regular garden-sized plants that you buy at the nursery in a gallon can or 5-gallon can, and you root prune them and prune the tops and put them in a small dish, and then you keep the roots very pruned, and they just
so you just keep cutting them back.
Reduce the size of the foliage,
really? So
and they make cute little trees.
The combination of the cramped space in the pots. And now you showed me something that's rather interesting. How you train them to the branches go in different directions. What are you trying to do with the rocks you have here on the branches?
Well, these were kind of one of our own inventions here to combine with wire that you can see on some of the branches to pull them down. In a seedling tree, the branches go up. And in a mature tree, like we're trying to make an oak tree looking thing, the branches gently curve to the ground.
So you're trying to make them look old.
Right, we're trying to bring them down into a mature shape.
Do they mind this weather at all?
Oh, they love it.
Yeah?
They love it.
Well, it's going to be continuing to rain for the rest of the evening, so these plants, I guess, are getting a good feeding tonight. Let me show you what's going on. Our current temperature is down into the 70s, 74 degrees the temperature out at the airport. Check out those current temperatures. Are you there? Hello? All right, there they are. 74, the dew point. 73 degrees, the barometer 29.86 and rising. We have a northeasterly wind that's gusting to 18 miles an hour. On the satellite picture, you will see the clouds as they built up this afternoon. Actually, those are last night's clouds. You'll see those diminish, and then the clouds just building up in South Georgia and North Florida this afternoon, and that's bringing us the rain showers and some of the thunderstorms we're hearing around town right now. You can see the radar over the last couple hours, how it's progressed, mostly in the same area, growing up most of it rain showers right now, but there are a few scattered thunderstorms in there as well. Afternoon highs today in the upper 80s. Tomorrow, with cooler air moving our way, it shouldn't make it out of the upper 70s. The forecast reads like this for this evening. Well, this is not a tough one. Numerous showers and some thunderstorms around. Those will be ending late tonight. Then tomorrow, look for variable clouds, breezy, and certainly mild compared to today. Tomorrow afternoon, look for a high of 78 degrees. We are actually lucky because we also have the vice president of the Bonsai Club, and I am pronouncing that correctly, aren't I, Virginia?
Yes, sir. You are.
Bonsai. Now, because I was confused with, those old Japanese movies while they were yelling
bonsai.
So that's a different word.
Yeah, that's like we yell Geronimo when we jump out of the airplane.
Okay, I see. So bonsai is the plant.
And bonsai.
See, now for all those years, I thought those guys were yelling potted plants as they attacked those ships.
No, I don't know what they were yelling, but it wasn't potted plants.
Okay. Virginia, thank you very much. And Kathy, thank you for having us to your home. A look at the small world of gardening, I guess.
Thanks, Bill, for cleaning up that pronunciation confusion for us. We really appreciate that.
Listen, anything I can do to further the community's education, Tom.
Thanks, Bill.
Bye, Bill.
See ya.
A big star hawking her home on morning TV tops 5:30 people. CBS weatherman Mark McEwen took his show on the road this morning to Bel Air, California.
Well, let's see who actually lives in here. Let's see. We'll knock on the door. Good morning.
Good morning, Mark. What an early morning visit. Come in, Mark.
Good morning. Come on in. Let's take a look.
Michael, come in. Gee, Merry Christmas. It's 7 in the morning.
Zsa Zsa Gabor is selling her Bel Air home for a cool $15 million. She pointed out some of its attractive features, like the fabulous swimming pool and enormous ballroom. And yet, she says it's practical.
This is the most wonderful house I've ever owned, but I bought a horse ranch, and I would like to live with my animals, with my horses and my dogs.
You're a big horsewoman. You've got horse there. All of the.
Yes, from Paris. I have a million ribbons.
Well, we're going to see all of that, Zsa Zsa. You're going to be with us all morning, and I'm looking forward to it. I want to thank Mike for being with us.
Thank you for coming,
You're
darling.
quite welcome.
Zsa Zsa says she is not the only star to have lived in the house. It was once owned by Howard Hughes and Elvis Presley. The man known as the Godfather of Soul is back in business after serving a short prison sentence. Veteran singer James Brown says he learned a thing or two while he was locked up. He says he learned, in his words, you can't do nothing by yourself, and he says he learned to appreciate the small things that you took for granted. Brown made the comments at a news conference promoting his upcoming pay-per-view cable concert. MC Hammer, Quincy Jones, and Gladys Knight will join Brown for his show, which airs Monday night. Linnea?
I know a lot of people will be glad he's back.
Yes, indeed.
All right. Well, there's lots more to come on Eyewitness News Live at 5:30. But first, let's go to Deb in the newsroom for a look at what's coming up at 6. Deb?
Hey, Linnea, thanks. Coming up on Eyewitness News at 6, gray days and lots of rain. The health department says this year it means a bigger battle against mosquitoes. Eyewitness News reporter Carla Davis will have that story for us. Also tonight, Columbia is well on its way to a mission in space travel and the human body. We'll watch again as the shuttle blasts off. Also tonight, back in time with Ted Brown for a look at the clam capital of our state. Back to you.
Thanks, Deb.
When we come back, we'll try a name game to stump Sam.
And we'll show you a way to commute that'll never be interrupted by red lights. Stay tuned.
I just wanna take it slow. I just want a taste that's rich. Introducing Kraft 1898 barbecue sauce. Slowly simmered the old-fashioned way for a rich, rich taste. I just wanna take it slow. I just want a taste that's rich. New Kraft 1898. Slowly simmered for a rich, rich taste.
You'll get the call around midnight after they pick him up. He'll tell you he did it, but he'll say he doesn't know why. He's hurting, you're hurting. Nobody knows what to do. Call us.
We are HCA Grant Center Hospital. We can help.
TV Guide calls it spicy table talk about sex, religion, and politics.
It's nice to see older people doing shtick.
Just call it Norman Lear's Sunday Dinner. He's got a fiancée young enough to be his daughter.
We're just not ready to share him yet, and certainly not with somebody I might have gone to camp with.
All new Sunday Dinner, followed by the comedy classic that's a hit all over again.
Even Jesus was a Jew.
Yeah, but only on his mother's side. All when the family classics just keep getting better. You can say that again. Right after Norman Lear's Sunday Dinner.
Welcome to the battle between the almighty dollar and the little common sense. There's the bell. What a fight. A left, right, left. Oh, the dollar is in trouble. It's down, the dollar.
You bet it's down. Because from now on, McDonald's original juicy hamburger is just 59 cents. Or for an extra dime, our delicious cheeseburger is just 69 cents. So come to McDonald's, where the little common sense win big. Our new real value menu. You'll love the change at McDonald's.
On Wednesday, CBS Evening News, Eye on America looks at sex and the Presbyterian Church. In this age of Madonna, free sexuality often seems a given, but most churches have not embraced this attitude. A new study, though, commissioned by Presbyterians, is about to break new ground and change the concept of what is considered sinful. The question is, can the Presbyterians accept their own report? Pretty interesting story. We'll have it in the rest of the day's news on the CBS Evening News.
Last night on the late-night version of Stump Sam, we pulled out an NBA question, Sam, and you ran into a little name association trouble. You remember that?
Well, it was so funny. I've told that story a couple times today. I feel like an idiot, which I do often, actually. But I particularly felt like an idiot last night because you asked, who did Magic Johnson break the all-time assist record? Who did he break? My brain said Oscar Robertson. My lips said Elgin Baylor. I turned to you, and you said no. And I could have swore I said Oscar Robertson on the air, and you said Oscar Robertson. And I wanted to say to you, isn't that what I said? I don't know if that ever happens to you, but maybe it's just a sign of getting old.
Sam, I hate to break it to you, since I'm older than you.
It's going to happen more often?
It happens more, Sam, as time goes on. Well, while we're on the subject of NBA and names, we've got NBA nicknames, and you got to give us the guy's real name.
NBA nicknames.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm pretty good at this. Where are you going, Mark? Come back here.
You don't need his help. This is just you by yourself, pal, in the spotlight.
All right.
We got 4 of them, Sam. Who is the worm?
Dennis Rodman.
Who is the microwave?
Vinnie Johnson.
Who is the mailman?
Karl Malone.
Who is Zeke?
Isaiah Thomas.
Can we have the cheers? Unbelievable.
That's it?
That question was sent in, Sam, by Kelly Ann Hill of Jacksonville. We'll be sending Kelly her very own Stump Sam T-shirt.
You know, I think Magic Johnson gave Isaiah Thomas that nickname Zeke.
Hey, where does the Zeke come from?
I don't know. It just, didn't feel like calling him Isaiah, I guess.
Just looked at him and said, you look like a Zeke.
Yeah, I mean, I got a friend whose name is George. We call him Al because it's shorter.
What's coming up at 6, Sam?
At 6 o'clock, we'll talk about last night's Gators advance into the next round, I guess you could say, of the College World Series. Plus, the National League announced today that they will, in fact, not announce their expansion plans next week. We'll update you on why and when and where.
Sam, you think the Gators can win this? All they got to do is beat LSU twice?
2 times in 2 consecutive days. If they don't pitch to Lyle Mouton, they may have an opportunity.
All right, thanks, Sam. We'll see you in a few minutes at 6 o'clock.
All righty.
And send your question in, and we'll send you out a Stump Sam T-shirt. Linnea?
Well, a car of the future tops today's business news. 3 years ago, Paul Mahler built his first flying car. It looked a lot like a small flying saucer, like the Jetsons vehicles. Mahler is a California inventor, and now he's introducing a new type of flying car that's even better. Mahler believes his model will be the typical for commuter of the future.
The problem is certainly here with transportation. There's no doubt that this vehicle is coming, and if I didn't put it together, the components would come from somebody else, and somebody else would put it together. It's just around the corner.
Mahler says his new flying car acts like a cross between a helicopter and an airplane, and he thinks it will be finished and flying by early next year. Well, professional baseball may be coming to Miami. The National League, who was supposed to announce 2 franchises next week, says that announcement will be postponed until a later date. But a story in the Rocky Mountain News today says the expansion committee has decided that Miami and Denver will get them, but league officials are keeping quiet. The Miami Herald says the only way that city won't get a team would be if an existing team decided to move to the Miami area. The new teams would begin play in 1993. Well, the stock market took a loss today, with the index barely managing to stay above the 3,000 mark. The Dow Jones Industrial Average closed down nearly 23 points at 3,005.37 points. Trading was active as nearly 187 million shares changed hands.
Kitchen spills may call for the quicker picker-upper.
But which passes the consumer jury test? Viva, Bounty, Brawny, and the store brand are all up next.
If you'd like to stump Sam, send your question to Stump Sam, WJXT, P.O. Box 5270, Jacksonville, 32207. Or drop off your question at Carpet & Drapes, 8956 Phillips Highway. If we use your question, you'll get a Stump Sam T-shirt.
Mercedes, BMW, Lexus. Expensive cars with a life-saving luxury, an airbag. Fortunately, there's also the Isuzu Stylist, the only import under $10,000 with a driver's side airbag standard, so you too can enjoy a lower cost of living. The Isuzu Stylist, there's no comparison.
Now the Stylist could also save you money, up to $2,000 during Isuzu's big deal.
Why can't
can't they make a stronger flea collar?
Someone has. Scratch X. Look, compared to Hearts and Sergeants, Scratch X has the power to kill twice as many fleas. Compare. All these collars kill fleas, but Scratch X has the power to kill twice as many fleas, since it's government approved to work twice as long.
Yet Scratch X is safe for 3-month-old pets.
Remember, compared to Hearts and Sergeant's 5-month collars, the Scratch X 11-month collar has the power to kill twice as many fleas.
All human animals hunger for trusting relationships. Me? I trust my snapper dealer. Just ask him about his total protection warranty. Talk about trust. Or the Snap Credit Plan and the 14-day money-back test drive to build an inventory of positive mowing experiences without making yourself vulnerable. Gentlemen, how about a hug?
Choose from a wide range of Snapper mowers at these dependable Snapper dealers.
Here's some news that'll brighten your day. When you buy Edge Gel or Agree Shampoo and Agree Conditioner at Walmart and use the coupons found right on the packages, the Walmart price for Edge is just $1.37. And Agree Shampoo and Agree Conditioner are just $1.82 each. So manage your mornings with Edge and Agree and manage your budget with the Walmart price. Always the low price. Walmart. Always.
Hi, I'm Sam Kavares. On June 12th, 13th, and 14th, we're giving you a chance to have your boss, your lawyer, or even your best friend arrested. It's all in fun as your Good Friends on 4 and the American Cancer Society present Jail and Bail. For a small donation, you can have someone arrested, and while they're doing time, they'll make phone calls to get pledges for the American Cancer Society. So let us know the people you want arrested by calling this number. Let's help fight cancer. Support the 6th annual Jail and Bail, June 12th through 14th.
Spills, messes, no problem, just use a paper towel. What would any kitchen be without them?
Well, we let our consumer jury test out which cleaned up spills the best. Here's Arthur Crofton.
If there's one item any American kitchen is not complete without, one that is not edible, it's not an appliance, but it's something that is absolutely essential to the modern kitchen, it's a paper towel. Tonight, our consumer jury takes a look at 4 brands of paper towels and picks which they think is the best. We gathered our consumer jury here at the Jacksonville landing. Their choices: a store brand roll for 69 cents, a roll of Viva also for 69 cents, Brawny, which came in at 73 cents, and a roll of Bounty for 89 cents. Arthur liked the Bounty.
Cleaned it all up without me getting too wet through to the hand.
Pamela also went with Bounty.
First towel to pick up the spill.
So
I preferred that one.
It'll last long.
Yeah.
Vivian voted also for Bounty.
It was quicker, and it just didn't take as long to clean up as the others would have.
And Charles preferred, you guessed it, Bounty.
This one it cleaned everything up.
So that's 4 for Bounty. The jury on paper towels was unanimous. May your paper towels catch all your spills. With another consumer jury, I'm Arthur Crofton, Channel 4 Eyewitness News.
And that's live at 5:30. I'm Linnea Carlson. Thanks so much for joining us.
I'm Tom Wills. Please stay tuned. Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock is coming up next. Here's a look at what's ahead.
I'm Carla Davis. They may not just be simple spring showers. Jacksonville's record rainfall could be dangerous. I'll have a report.
I'm Deborah Morgan. An eye-opening fashion show to benefit a woman afflicted with a rare disease.
I'm Deborah Gianolis. We'll go back in time with Ted Brown and meet some Central Florida men who were using fancy footwork to bring home the clams.
First in news, round the clock. WJXT Channel 4. Now, Tom Wills. Deborah Gianolis. Sam Kavares with sports. And meteorologist George Winterling with weather. This is Eyewitness News at 6.
Hello, everybody. Our top story, bugs that bite and falling rain and the link between the two.
For the second day in a row, soaking storms blew into town just as most people hit the road to get home from work. It's a softer rain than the blast of storms last night, and it continues a trend that goes back to last month. May was the wettest May we've had since 1975, with more than 9 inches of rain over the 31 days.
You may be tired of rain, but Eyewitness News reporter Carla Davis tells us if there's one creature on our planet that really loves things wet, it's the mosquito.
What was considered a big problem last year is now even bigger.
The mosquitoes are much worse this year than they were in the past, have been in the past 2 years. And the reason for that is the increase in the wet weather we've had.
In just over 5 months, Jacksonville has had nearly 38 inches of rain. That's 6 inches more than all of 1990. National Weather Service forecasters say recent storms are just the beginning.
We'll certainly see thunderstorms. It's like we've already had summertime start here in Jacksonville. The cold front we've got coming in should cool things off a little bit. But I think the pattern will go back to where we'll see the thunderstorms every afternoon.
We've had an unusually mild winter. We've had a very warm spring. The warmer it is, the more evaporation we get from the oceans and even what moisture there is in the ground, and that feeds the clouds.
With record levels of rainfall come record numbers of mosquitoes. Water left standing after a storm is a prime breeding place for mosquitoes, and in this area the bugs are not just annoying, they can be dangerous. According to Duval County Health Department estimates, mosquitoes carrying the potentially deadly encephalitis virus infected 203 people in Florida last year. 7 people died from the disease, so local authorities are on the lookout for another outbreak.
The health officials are watching very closely to see if there'll be any encephalitis this year. And if the indications are there, mosquito control is ready to respond with whatever aggressive techniques are necessary.
Smith says because of last year's encephalitis scare, extra spraying put a strain on their budget. He says this year the city has given his department an additional $200,000 to battle the bugs. But Smith adds people should wage their own battle by using insect repellent and wearing protective clothes. Carla Davis, Channel 4 Eyewitness News.
A woman who in the past has testified for an accused mail bomber today testified against him. Julie Lynn West told a courtroom she contracted with Walter Leroy Moody to lie on the witness stand for $2,000. West says she and her mother were hired by Moody to give false testimony in an attempt to overturn Moody's previous conviction of possessing a pipe bomb.
He was obsessed with overturning that conviction. We've always admitted that.
And did that lead to the mail bomb murders?
We say not.
And that's what you think the government's trying to do?
They're trying to show, sure.
Moody is charged in the mail bomb deaths of an Alabama judge and a Georgia lawyer. The federal trial of the 57-year-old Georgia man was moved to St. Paul, Minnesota because of the extensive publicity in the southeast. Investigators in Gainesville now think 2 men are responsible for the mutilation murders of 5 college students last August. State Attorney Len Register says a grand jury will hear evidence sometime this fall on prime suspect Danny Harold Rawlings and former University of Florida student Edward Lewis Humphrey. But Register says he is not going to seek or recommend an indictment be brought against Humphrey.
That gave rise to a focus on Edward Humphrey originally as one of the suspects in the case are still with us. They cannot be discounted, and that's part of the evidence that we'll present to the grand jury.
Last Friday, the task force investigating the murders revealed publicly for the first time that Rawlings is the prime suspect in the killings. Humphrey was named as a suspect early in the investigation.
Today marks the 10th anniversary of the AIDS virus, the deadly disease that started surfacing almost exclusively among homosexual men and is now an epidemic among all segments of our population. The anniversary is not going unnoticed in Florida's prison system. At the onset of the disease, patients were confined to this facility in Lake Butler. But now that prison health officials know more about the disease, only those in the last stages will be sent there. AIDS inmates receive the drug AZT, which prolongs the life of most patients. AZT is too expensive even for many AIDS patients who are not in the prison system. The doctor in charge of health services for Florida's prison system says he knows that might bother some people.
The fact that the citizenry doesn't have adequate health care coverage certainly is a concern, but we cannot let that take away from what our inmates need.
Matthews says, contrary to popular belief, most inmates contract AIDS before they go to prison. Right now, there are 140 active AIDS cases in Florida's prisons. About 3,500 inmates are HIV positive. It's a disease that caught our attention when a New York baseball player became ill. ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, is very rare and there is no cure. Doctors don't know what causes it or even how to treat it. Darlene Havisto of Jacksonville is one of 6 people in North Florida with ALS. Eyewitness News reporter Deborah Morgan tells us what she's doing to help herself and others fight the disease.
Angela has a metallic swimwear. Does this grab your attention? It's supposed to, but not for why you might think. This fashion show is not for selling bathing suits, but rather to raise money and attention for Darlene Havisto's disease. The 45-year-old mother of two was diagnosed last summer with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, also known as ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease.
I was healthy up until I was 44 years old, and then just all of a sudden the pain just started in one leg, and then it just kind of grew to the other leg, and it's just a slow process that just gradually disables the muscles and can't walk.
The members of the Southside Businessmen's Club paid $5 each to eat lunch and watch the show. This benefit is a kickoff for a foundation Darlene and her husband Bob have started. They hope not only to raise money for Darlene's medical costs, but also to fund research for care and treatment for ALS sufferers. ALS is a very rare disease, and right now there's no cure. With benefits like this one, this new foundation hopes to change that.
What we really want to do is find out what's being done all over the place. Then we can make our own decision what we want to do.
Doctors don't have any kind of medication. I'm just taking all the vitamins and minerals I can, try to keep my strength up a little bit.
Darlene's doctors have told her there's not much hope of her living more than 5 years, but she says she won't give up that easy. They may try experimental treatments found only in Mexico or the Bahamas, which use medication and therapy to prolong the life of ALS patients. Expensive treatments not covered by insurance. Darlene hopes to find some kind of relief and then be an inspiration to others.
Just to get out there and get myself better so I can get healthy again and get out there and help other people with the same kind of disease. Give them some hope.
Deborah Morgan, Channel 4 Eyewitness News.
The Darlene Javisto ALS Foundation has raised $1,500 so far after being in operation for just 2 weeks. The next fundraising event will be a giant garage sale and barbecue on June 22nd at Crabtree Park. Tom?
A city council committee this afternoon postponed action on a proposal that several local churches have been fighting for some time now. They're sign ordinances that, if passed, would give churches more freedom and flexibility to use signs to advertise themselves on church property, and in some cases to post signs on private and city-owned property. The matter has been deferred now until June 19th. The city's Community and Economic Development Committee says the issue may be the only one on the agenda for that meeting, since a large number of people are expected to want to address the city council committee. It's been a busy day in space for the shuttle Columbia and its crew. The threat of thick clouds made for a later-than-scheduled launch of the spacecraft, but liftoff was successful. Once in orbit, the crew got down to business. The 9-day mission focuses on biomedical research. Along for the ride are 3 physicians, 29 rats, and 2,500 jellyfish.
Sam will be up next with sports, but first, fireworks and festival plans for the city's Independence Day celebration.
And a little later, heads bobbing and toes digging. These men are working for a few clams. We'll be right back.
Okay, I'll take it. Nice car, pal. We're going to get off to a great start.
Really?
It's guaranteed. Just give me the good stuff.
Listen to your engine. Use Ultimate regularly in your new car, and Amoco guarantees you won't have a fuel-related problem.
Or Amoco pays you for the repair. You give me quality, I give you performance.
Amoco Ultimate, your car knows. Now you do, too.
Pal, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
I've been putting drain pipes in houses for a long time. This is how they look when they're new. This is how they can look after a few years. Soaps and greases can coat the entire length of a drain pipe, causing slow drains. Liquid drain openers remove clogs, but they flow past the main problem. The enzymes in Drain Care cling to the old buildup and clean the pipes so they flow like new. And Drain Care is safe for you and the environment. I'm going to leave these people Drain Care so they never have to deal with slow drains. Drain Care. It's like having new pipes again.
Hey, can I ask you something?
Sure, all right.
Which beer would you rather try?
The darker one. This one, Your Honor.
Here's Budweiser, and this is Coors Extra Gold.
Really?
All right. Want to know something else?
What's that?
58% of Bud drinkers prefer Coors Extra Gold in an independent taste test.
What makes this to me?
Coors Extra Gold, slow brewed for that real beer flavor and real beer color, the way beer was meant to be. So what are you going to do?
Gonna switch.
Coors Extra Gold. No doubt about it. Beer is back.
There's no doubt about it.
Target 4, investigative reporting that uncovers the truth. Target 4, investigative reporting that opens your eyes. Target 4, investigative reporting that cuts to the heart. Target 4, investigative reporting that gets results. In a world of looking out for number 1, it's good to know that number 1 is looking out for you. Target 4 investigations from the team that's first in news. Channel 4's Eyewitness News.
Hi, I'm Sam Kavaris. On June 12th, 13th, and 14th, your good friends on 4 and the American Cancer Society want you to fill these jails. For a small donation, you name the charge, and we'll put your friends behind bars during the 6th annual Jail and Bail. Have someone arrested, and let's help raise funds for cancer patients in our community. Call 398-JAIL for more information.
For a limited time, get 15 pieces of Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken for just $9.99.
That's why everybody's picking Lee's Chicken.
Mayor Tommy Hazouri and Mayor-elect Ed Austin announced the city's plans for this year's Independence Day celebration. And they're planning a big bash, bigger than last year's. It will include a salute to the military with a parade of heroes and, of course, the traditional fireworks. Mayor Hazouri says it's going to be the greatest 4th of July in the history of the city of Jacksonville.
President Bush wants to make this a special celebration, as does Governor Childs, and he's asked every city to have a great and grand parade and a lot of 4th of July activities. And, of course, we have a big 4th of July celebration here every year.
Activities will continue throughout the day with a star-studded musical lineup at Metropolitan Park and the 15th Annual Ethnic Food Festival at the Coliseum. I'm already getting hungry.
Stomach's growling just the mere mention of the word.
Yeah, that's for sure.
The Gators, they can think those fireworks are for them if they win the College World Series.
If they do, they ought to have fireworks, because if you win it out of the loser's bracket, that's tough.
That is
all the way
tough.
around. That's exactly right. Last time they played LSU, Florida lost 8-1. Head coach Joe Arnold said, "We played like youngsters, they played like ball players." This time around, he hopes that the Gators take a different tact. The tact that they're hoping that they take, obviously, is to play more like guys who are in the World Series now.
All that stuff is behind us. The opening day jitters, just the excitement of the tournament. Right now, we're pretty focused on what our task is, and I think we'll go about our business a little different way.
Of course, last night they went about their business with their pitching and one swing of the bat. Brett Killen doubles home Ted Rich and Dave Majeski to give the Gators all the runs they needed. 2-0 was the score. John Burke pitched very well in the 6 innings that he went. The Gators also got John Pritchard to come in the final pitches, couple of pitches, final innings. He got his 12th save.
They were relaxed. You know, we've been here for a couple of days, and they've been you know, looking at everything and stuff, and they were relaxed today, and they threw well, and they hit their spots, and you know, I just went out there and told them to relax and have fun.
Just trying to relax more at the plate, and lately I haven't been swinging at my pitch. I've been swinging at a lot more pitches than I should be, and the first night out, maybe I was a little tense. I didn't swing at good pitches, but I feel the last 2 games I went out and swung at my pitches.
And that's exactly what happened last night. As the Gators beat Fresno State 2-1 in an elimination game. Tonight is an elimination game for Florida against LSU. If Florida loses, they are out. If they beat LSU, both of those teams will have 1 loss. They will play again tomorrow to determine who will play in the championship game, which is a single elimination game on Saturday. The National League announced today that they will not announce their expansion plans next week as scheduled. They had said that June 12th, next Wednesday, they were going to announce the 2 teams that would be the new members of the National League in 1993. Now the league says it will be somewhere around September the 30th because the information that they got was much more extensive than they expected, and it needs more time for study. The teams will begin play in 1993 at a franchise cost of $95 million. Right now, Miami and Denver are considered to be the front runners, with Tampa, Washington, and Buffalo also contenders for a National League team. Today in the National League, the Cubs and the Padres were playing, with the Padres trying to win their 6th consecutive game. They couldn't sing the national anthem at the beginning of the game because the microphones didn't work. We don't know anything about that, but they were hitting home runs at Wrigley Field as Tony Hernandez hit his 2nd homer of the year, and Benito Santiago with a triple down a right field line. The Padres win 3-0. Dennis Rasmussen went the distance. He got the shutout. The Padres have now won 6 straight. Also last night, Wally Ritchie threw the ball and it almost hit Otis Nixon. Nixon said to the umpire, "Look, if he throws me again, I'm going out there." Threw at him again, so he went out there. Hi-ya! With the kick right to the body. He goes down, and as Bobby Cox said later, "I'm glad he did this because he beat the living daylights out of him." That's exactly what happened. Otis Nixon really took it to Wally Ritchie, as the Braves also took it